The left has finally found an oppressed, multi-ethnic, and actually peaceful protest that it refuses to support. And no, it's not just the fringe left like AOC and her ilk, but we'll get to that in a minute, who are refusing to stand in solidarity with Cuban freedom fighters. It's also Joe Biden's entire administration. Despite only just getting very limited access to modern mobile internet a few years ago, the largest demonstrations against the Cuban dictatorship in nearly a quarter century have gone viral thanks to social media. But despite the highest number of border crossings in decades, apparently not too bothersome to Joe Biden, his administration has officially warned any Cuban willing to risk their lives on a flotilla to cross the 90 perilous miles to American soil that we will not grant them asylum. And this is despite them actually qualifying as legitimate refugees under international law because they are politically persecuted, far more than any of the Northern Triangle migrants we're giving free bus rides and hotels stay to. It's predictable enough that the left would stand with the government that constitutes the logical endpoint of their goals. Prior to this year's protests, Nicole Hannah-Jones, the author of the execrable, ahistorical, racial essentialism that is the 1619 Project, lauded the Cuban government as bringing the greatest racial equity to any multi-ethnic country west of the international dateline. Sure, everyone is equal in Cuba because everyone is equal in a breadline in the same way that everyone is equal 6 feet under. Equal in misery, equal in starvation. But even more galling is the pure political hypocrisy. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez waited over a week after the protests to even address them, and predictably spent the bulk of her tailor-made statement blaming America for all of Cuba's woes because of our embargo on the nation. Ilhan Omar, an actual member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, has remained mum entirely. And isn't it pretty rich? Boycotts. They're humanitarian heroism when levied against Israel as part of the BDS movement. But they're attacks on the poor Cuban people who love the communist dictatorship oppressing them when we do it in Cuba. Then there's Black Lives Matter, the actual Marxist organization that outright backed the Cuban government. Because as we've known all along, only some black lives actually matter to them. Clearly, Afro-Cubans don't count. And it would be astonishing if only it weren't so predictable.